Ever wish you could have a piece of music history in your home? RR Auction House in Boston is putting up some of the rarest pieces of memorabilia belonging to none other than Prince. Here to show off some of these pieces is RR Auctions Executive VP Bobby Livingston to tell us all about this very special sale. Thank you so much for joining us, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
Oh, it's great to be with you guys. Hey, how are you? Nice to see you.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, what an exciting special auction. Let's first take a look at one of the most special pieces in this auction, a yellow cloud guitar custom made for Prince, which he performed in his music video for Cream. What is the story with this amazing piece?
Well, you know, Prince had custom guitars made for him in the 80s, the ones that you see in Purple Rain in the first tour. In the 90s, he needed more guitars, and this is one that was custom made for him in a guitar shop in Minneapolis. Somebody brought in from Paisley Park, they brought in the famous Prince guitar, and a guitar maker, a luthier, made this one for him. So it's handmade for Prince, and it's got, you know, the symbols on it. It's gold. I mean, it's yellow. Look at that. Isn't it like the most brightest yellow you've
cool.
seen?
It's gorgeous.
And what this comes with, which is neat, is that they brought in a handkerchief, the yellow handkerchief of Prince. It's silk, and so the guy who painted it had to match the paint, and so it's lit, bright. And the thing is that Prince was pretty small, and so the guitar, if I was to hold it, and I can't touch it, but if I was to hold it, it is like, you know, 3/4 size. It's for, you know, it's not a big guitar, but it's beautiful.
Really?
Yeah. Wow, they made it just for him. So how much do you think this guitar could go for? What's the
Well, we have an
price?
estimate for. Well, currently it's about at $40,000. We have an estimate of about $60,000. We had one last year that sold for $110,000. So we would expect it to be somewhere in that vicinity. We'll see. You know, that's the great thing about an auction. You never know. It could go a lot higher.
Yeah, such variety. I wonder, have you ever been surprised at like how you source some of these rare pieces?
You know, what's interesting, a lot of the Prince stuff comes from Paisley Park employees, early employees. We had Prince's first manager, Alan Leeds, consigned to us, and all the secretaries and assistants, they've all become our clients. So that comes right from the original source. You know, because people in those days, you know, a piece of paper or a shopping list from Prince, you know, written out by him, it's just thrown into a drawer. But, you know, after his tragic passing, you know, suddenly these things have a lot of value. So, you know, we have these lyrics that, you know, he wrote a lot, and he was creative. He spent all his time, you know, working on his art. So there's, you know, things that weren't important to him. History has shown, wow, you know, these are important, and they have a lot of value, and people love Prince, you know, and it's a lot of us are emotionally connected to you know, what happened to him 5 years ago. You know, it was one of those awful tragedies.
Yeah, and I mean, he's just his musical legacy and his style, like it is so, I think so many people connect with it. I mean, you have a blouse that he wore for his Purple Rain album. Perfect record, by the way. How rare is this particular blouse? Is there more than one?
Well, like on most movie sets, and you know that they would have several shirts in case he spilled something on it, or a special effect, you know, something had it. But this one is, you know, one of the originals. It's got a Prince purple label in it, Prince, and it came from Sheila E.'s mother. She had retained it. Yeah, and she actually sold it for charity several years ago. So it's really cool, and you can see, I mean, even behind me, you can see how the ruffles are just, you know, it just says Prince. And there's nothing else like it. You know, it's just beautiful.
What size is it? Well, like, do you think it will fit me?
It's small.
I'm like 5'6".
He's small. Yeah, no,
I'm a 28 waist.
You're too tall. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know. You'd have to come check it out, man.
Don't tempt me with a
I
good
mean, we
time.
can get it tailored, Ruba. So, I mean,
True that, Brady.
some of the stuff, the guitars and the clothing, is there a certain type of person that you think would be interested in, say, like clothing, like Prince's clothing, type of collector?
Well, you know, we have a lot of Prince fans that buy from us. We have sales, you know, every 6 months to a year that feature Prince. There's a lot of people that have disposable income that are willing to spend some money to have something that Prince actually touched or actually wore, and the quality, he didn't skim on the quality of his outfits. I mean, these are nice Italian suits. We have the jacket behind me comes from Susanna Melvoin, it's one of his early fiancées, and Wendy's sister, and it's just a beautiful, expensive jacket, So people love to have it, and he's such a fashion icon, and like you said, he's unmistakable. So when you see these worn items, like, oh, okay, Prince wore that, no doubt. So it's cool.
Oh, that is legendary. Now, Bobby, what about this manuscript written by Prince that you have? How much are we looking for something like this?
Well, he sat down for, after Purple Rain, he made Under the Cherry Moon. And so this is his initial script that Prince wrote, several pages. You can flip through this and see the whole outline of the film. And so something like that we would expect, to go for around $20,000, maybe more. But it's the artist at work. I mean, that's what's so great about handwritten manuscripts, is you can see how how the initial idea starts, and then if you've seen the movie, you can see how it changed over time. But you really get the thought process from manuscripts. So there's, and he held that notebook in his hands and wrote that on the cover. So it's a fabulous piece.
That's unbelievable. Now, I know Ruba already got first dibs on the blouse behind you, but I have my eyes on something as well. The purple boots. Can you tell us about these? What's the story behind them, and how much you think they could go for?
Well, the purple boots were made by his shoemaker Andre, who was in Hollywood, and I have them here if you want to see them. I mean, they're just incredible. You can see he was a very small size foot, so but he had them ordered for the new power generation, and they made them with all these braids, which are totally hip. And then he never showed back up to pick them up. So he was like that. He was like that. We also have a copy of the Black Album sealed, which, famously he recorded the whole record, packaged it. It was on a pallet ready to be shipped out to the record stores. And he said, I don't want to put it out. So it all got pulled back in. So much like this boot, we have an album that he never sold. And those go for $20,000 or $30,000 as well, because they're just impossible to find.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Now, Bobby, in this auction, we aren't just seeing Prince memorabilia. You have some other, really rare music pieces. Can you tell us about this gold sequin dress?
Is that hot or what? I mean, that's just the coolest dress that, was worn by Lady Gaga a couple of years ago. And, again, she is such the fashion icon. I mean, look how beautiful she is in that. I mean, it's just gorgeous. And, the gold lame is so reminiscent of Elvis Presley and Michael Jackson. So she kind of follows in that line. So it's
Bobby,
it's
how
really
much could I
hip.
give you
That's
for that?
Beautiful.
How much could I give you for
You
that?
just have
that
to
gold
register.
dress?
It's an auction.
Don't
That's the
do
issue. You got to get in there and bid.
Don't do me. Don't do me.
Sorry, there's several people that want that dress. So get on it and register, and you can win it.
Okay.
That's amazing. Bobby, you said that you guys often have sales that have Prince memorabilia. One item I think of is the bike, the motorcycle he rode in Purple Rain. It's on the cover. It's on all of the stuff regarding Purple Rain. Has this ever gone for auction? And if so, what would something like this go for, do you think?
I don't know if that motorcycle's ever come up for auction. We'd love to offer it. I mean, it's one of the most iconic motorcycles I think there is of the second half of the 20th century. You got Steve McQueen's, right? And the one from Easy Rider. So I think that this one would be right up there. But I really don't even know what it'd be worth. Probably over $50,000, maybe more. It's a Honda, but it is cool. And I don't know I don't know where it is or if it still exists. So if it's out there, by the way, please contact me.
Call out
Bobby.
Hello.
Right.
Is there anything in your collection that you're proud of and you feel like you could never part with, you would never sell it at auction, something that you've acquired that really holds meaning?
Well, it's because we're selling tens of thousands of things every month, it's very hard for me to grab onto something and say, all right, I really want this, I'm never going to let it go. So there's some autographs and some photos that I have that are common, but I like them, but I could replace them. So I don't have a one of a kind item, but I get to touch them all the time. Like, I have this watch here that this sold for $1.6 million. This is a replica, but this was actually on the moon on Apollo 15, and the astronaut took it home, and we sold it directly for him. So that I'd have a tough time letting that go, especially for
Oh
that
my
kind of money.
gosh! Okay, note to self: meet an astronaut and give them a lot of things to
Right.
do with them on their next ride. Yeah, absolutely, Bobby. Thank you so much for joining us. We love seeing all of these things going up for auction, and if you want to get your hands on some special music memorabilia, the RR auction closes Wednesday, March 10th.
And we have a lit scoop. The Powerpuff Girls are coming to real life. Dove Cameron, Chloe Bennett, and Yana Pervelt all have been tapped to star in the live-action remake. Now, ordered to the pilot last month, the drama revolves around a disillusioned 20-something who resent having lost their childhood, fighting crimes, all that good stuff. Powerpuff Girls in real life. There y'all have it.